just set first person and get out first person. All right. If you want to jump and keep it first person, right? Like this right here. All you have to do is set the trigger volume right here. This one, just put it a little bit higher. So you have first person and then you have third person, which is the same. Just make sure on the first person you have snap to target. Snap to target. You put the name of the socket right here. And why I am attaching the boom to the bone, right? Very simple. I like how the camera move. So if I don't move, you see how you can feel the movement of the character through the camera, and I like that. That is why the camera is being attached to the headbone, so you can actually feel that you are in the game. That is why the camera is attached to the socket, that the socket is attached to the bone. Then snap to target, don't mess with the scale unless you need to. And then once you go third person, just keep it relative, so it will stay within the actor uh, units or actor value, right? Really. And here I'm just setting back the camera to where it was. These may be hard coded, but there's no issue on being hard coded because the camera is not gonna move anywhere besides back and forth. Does that make sense? So you set it first person, it comes right here. You set it third person, it comes back right here. All right. So that's the player stuff. Now let's go to the platform, which is the main actor on this. Make sure on the game mode, on the blueprint game mode, you you set your new controller class. All right. Make sure that you do that. So let's go to the platform actor now. So on the platform actor, before we dig into the blueprint thing, let's go to the actor itself. So here what I have is a basic static mesh structure. Make sure that the structure has a collision. So to make sure of that, you go to the structure, right? You can hit, if you want, you can hit the magnifying glass right here, this right here, and it will take you to the asset in the content browser. So right here, you see, this is the asset in the content browser. You double click to open it, and then you can make sure this has a collision, which I know it has a collision because this is the floor for the template. All right, so let's continue with the actor. Then I added the static mesh here. I put it on the scale 0.08, but if you're using your own static mesh, then just put your own, measurements or whatever scale. make sure it's movable. It should be movable by default. Then I added the collision to make it go first person and third person. Then I just added another static mesh, like a placeholder to be the stand. But you can actually have one static mesh actor to be the entire, controller or panel controller or elevator panel or elevator screen. I just have a one static mesh. Then I added to the static mesh, I added the text, which is press E. And again, if you don't know how to do this, watch the previous videos for the elevator, and then you'll be able to figure out how to create the actor. Then I have the collision. that goes, that allows me to go to the mouse interface. And then I just added 3 simple buttons static mesh that we're gonna change the color based on the mouse being on top of it, like a mouse hover. And then once you click, then it's gonna also change the color to make sure that like you go over it, it change color, then you click, it also change color. Right. So now let's go to the event graph. On the event graph, I have the 2 collisions right here, which is the elevator collision right here. And just in case, the elevator collision is this one, the big one, right? This is the panel collision and the elevator collision. So when I go begin overlap on the elevator collision, I'm casting, I'm verifying if who is colliding with the trigger. So the only one that can activate this trigger is the player character. Any actor based on the character class named third person character can activate this trigger right here, and then it will activate the custom event that is called first person here on the first person. So this right here calls this custom event and this custom event, so on and so on. All right. And then same thing here, when it goes and the overlap, so when you get out the elevator, it goes back to third person. And then same thing for the panel collision. When you go on the panel collision, I want to enable the input on this actor, so I can press E. And then I want to set the text on high, right? And I want to cast to third person to make sure that we are receiving the input from that guy. So when I press E, it's going to activate the custom event on the third person right here. Elevator control. And then this is going to move the camera, and it's going to enable the mouse, which is right here. Enable mouse. All right. And this, what it's doing is that it will prevent the rotation. So if I go here, you guys can see how I can rotate the camera around. But then with that function in place, I can move the mouse and there's no rotation. Now once I get out, I can actually go back and just keep playing how I was playing. Okay, so this, then same thing now on reverse. Of course, make sure you have your player variables right here. It says player index 0 because there's only one player. So if you have a game that is multiplayer or something like that, make sure you are controlling the player that you want to control based on the index, or however you do it. There are many ways that you can do this. So now here, same thing, when you end the overlap with the elevator panel, I'm going to disable the inputs. I'm going to cast to the character. Let them know that I'm no longer controlling the panel. Then I'm going to cast to the mouse interface to disable the mouse. And I'm going to re-establish the camera rotation. Right? So by doing all that, setting up this basic actor right here, and doing all that, that allows us to those are the basic settings to, if you like third person like me, you can play around. Once you go in the elevator, it goes first person. You can come here, press E, it gives you the mouse, you select your level that you want to go, that we're going to do that on the next video, and then That's it, you're done. This is it for this video. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for asking for this so I can come back after 2 years of the last video for the elevator.